But I went to it because the publisher of Oak Tree Press, went every year, and so did a lot of the authors because they're from the West Coast. So I said it was a great way to get to meet her finally face to face instead of just online. So I went, and they actually gave me the award for the best novel of the year for Unloved Dead, which told me, when the head of the committee was somebody who I don't think had ever really met anybody Jewish before, that this, again, along with other indications of the Valdosta group, told me that this is a crossover. So, a cozy mystery about a woman rabbi in South Jersey, and these guys voted for it. So I go every year. I feel sort of obligated. They also gave me, I've gotten two others from them. One was for a flash fiction, and the other was for a short story. And what's interesting with those is I usually don't write short stories. Right. So it was kind of nice. And they're totally different. I mean, they're kind of like black humor, very different from my books.
I'm on the other side. You do not cross line. I'm nonfiction. Mm-hmm. But how did you find the Dorothy L group? How would I find Dorothy L group?
I don't remember how I found it. Quite honestly, somebody mentioned it somewhere on Facebook. I don't remember, or somewhere. Somebody mentioned it. I subscribed to it and I got on the group. The others I go to are all East Coast. One of them is Malice Domestic, which was the first one I had gone to, which is specifically for cozies. And it's always down in the Bethesda area. A New Jersey group, I don't remember how I found that either, was called Deadly Ink. I gave me the award for Hillary a couple of years ago. It was up in North Jersey. And small, very small. Malice is a medium size. And then another one that is growing is, I can never remember the name of it, Crime, Creatures, and Creativity. Or is it Creatures, Crime, and Creativity? C3. And basically in that one, I know the person running it. Austin Camacho, he's an author, he is a publisher, and I'd met him at Malice and a couple of other places. So I went to it because he kept saying, when are you going to come? And I said, when you don't run it on a Jewish holiday in the fall. So he now checks with me ahead of time. Really. They learned to check not just for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, but for Sukkot also. So that I've had no problem getting to the last couple of years. So really, it's just networking. Talk to people. Find people here that you write similar books to yours and say, do you go to conferences? Which ones? I like the smaller ones only because you know you're going to get in a panel and they're friendly. But there's not as much opportunity for expanding. I mean, at this point, I think I know everybody goes to the PSWA. Most of the people at Malice, everybody at Deadly Ink. But some of the others, like Left Coast Crime, it's large enough without being overwhelming. So, what kind of nonfiction do you write?
Well, the only book I've published so far is called Secret Philadelphia, Guides to the Weird, Wonderful, and Obscure. Okay. Very similar to a small publisher. I didn't pay anything, but I didn't get any royalty either.
Or advance.
But no advance. I mean, I do get royalties. I don't get any advances exactly. But
I'm trying to think. You may want to look into some travel. You may also want to look into things like some of the science fiction things.
Okay,
yeah. PhilCon is held every year here in Cherry Hill. It's a Philadelphia one, but it's held in Cherry Hill. So you may want to look at some of the Comic-Con.
I was going to say Comic-Con, right.
Which has just started up in Philadelphia last year.
That'd probably be a great place to be, actually.
Yeah. Those kinds of
son who goes to these
think outside the box.
Exactly.
I do not speak. I speak at synagogues. I speak at different organizations from synagogues, not only to synagogues or to Jewish groups. Mm-hmm. I try to speak as much as I can to non-Jewish groups, just to expand, and that's why, as I said before, I went out to Left Coast Crime. I hadn't done anything on the West Coast. I knew people from Facebook, but that's not the same as meeting them.
Absolutely.
And I found that I have a fan base out there, which is kind of nice. Cool. Yeah.
How long did it take you to write your first novel?
My first one was about a year and a half, another year and a half to get it published. Accepted and in print.
Right. I just real connected with you when you were saying that you need to have like the average job, once when you're writing, to support the family. Where like I do like I write like almost every weekend, but I can't. When I come home, I can't really like have the energy to write.
I understand. I wrote Honey and Guilt actually when I was on hiatus from work. Let's put it that way. Got sort of the nice thing to say is downsized, but it wasn't. Basically, a different version of the guy that got rid of me is the corpse in my second book. So I was actually spending my time full time. I was doing volunteer work where I was over at the Rancocas Nature Center up in West Hampton. I was there so much that they finally gave me a salary, so they'd know exactly when I would be there. And I was like running the bookstore and doing the volunteers and a whole bunch of other stuff, publicity. But it was only, it was a few hours a week, like 12 hours a week or something. And I was looking for jobs, which is anybody who in your early 50s find yourself without a paying job knows how hard it is, especially if you're at a certain level and they're looking for entry level people. I mean, I had a friend who ran a large Jewish organization in Philadelphia who basically said, well, I have something available, but I won't insult you by offering it. I said, insult me, it's okay. But he was looking for somebody, 25 years younger, just got the master's degree, first job, who didn't mind working 60 hours a week for no pay. So it was tough, even then, and when I officially was not working, or not full time, in the salary. Until 5 years ago, I finally did find a job, and it was as a chaplain at Samaritan Hospice. And I would, after work, I'd go over to Starbucks or wherever, and I'd say, okay, I'm going to sit down and write. I'd be so emotionally drained that I'd take out my Kindle instead and read. I found it very, very, very difficult to do at that time. The thing that energized me was knowing who the corpse was going to be. But beyond that, I mean, it can be difficult. And even now, I've been retired now for almost 5 years, and I still haven't gotten the fourth book out. Because I was determined after Yom Kippur came out that I was going to sit right down and start writing instead of start researching. And I mean, I have an earned doctorate in education. I know what research is like, and I enjoy doing research. So I can get myself so immersed in it that I forget to do any writing until I finally, as I said, just got to get it done. I've decided I'm going to have it done. I'm going to do this by early next year. Get it out before the conference season begins, which is in the spring, March, April. So that I can really do a lot of promotion at the conferences, and then next year's conferences have it up for awards. That's my dream, anyway. Whether I'll even get it written by then, I don't know, but that's my goal.
I just have this little voice in the back of my head. I wrote my first novel, and within spitting distance of like finishing my next novel, but it's just like a matter of wrapping up. But I'm just, this little voice in the back of my head is just like, well, maybe the first one was a fluke, Maybe you only have one novel in you,
Yes, that is a very common problem. People talk about writer's block and whether or not it exists. I don't think it's really writer's block, it's fear of success or fear of failure, or both. The fear of success, because if you're successful, people are going to expect you to repeat it. Fear of failure is you're not as good as you think you are.
We just need to call it writer's fear.
That's right. That's what it is. Exactly what it is, writer's fear. And it's not just with writers. I mean, I think you find that with many professions of people who are honest anyway. I know that when I started my job at Samaritan Hospice, I went through the orientation, a couple weeks of orientation, following other disciplines, social worker, nurse, another chaplain following them around, finding out all the things that are done. And then I woke up the first morning when I was on my own, opened my eyes and said, oh shit, what do I do now? And every morning for the next 8 years, I woke up in the morning and said, oh shit, what do I do now? So yeah, it doesn't go away. And it's not just writers, but yeah, it is writers' fears.
I've experienced that. I left my school district Philadelphia. I had become a teacher at college, and for like 17 years, that's all I did. And like 6 years ago, I went and I retired, and I was just walking around like Center City, Philadelphia for a few hours that day and just thinking, oh God, what have I done?
I have to admit, I have not had that feeling about retirement. I was happy to retire. I miss the people, do not miss the job. Love the flexibility of time. The fact that I have a 91-year-old father down in Florida who just there a couple of weeks ago, transferred him for independent living to assisted living. He's not happy. Told me this a few days ago. I'm going down Monday. I would have been able to do that. A Sunday, on Sunday, just for a couple of days. I'll be back on Tuesday because I have a writers event, a vendors thing on Wednesday that I have to deliver my book. Well, anyway, so that part of it I like, this flexibility of time. My husband retired a couple of years after I did, and we travel a lot now. Couldn't have done that before, either of us. So there's a lot of things that I like about being retired until the bills come in.
Did it give you more time to write?
Theoretically. I mean, all the time in the world to write. But let's see, I'm going to start writing. Oh, it's a notification on my phone. Maybe I should check it. Oh, gotta check out this link. I wonder what the Israeli paper Haaretz has to say about Trump today. I wonder whatever, things just happen. I spend so much time on Facebook. I think many of you know, John from the Jersey Writers Group.
John Gibbs?
Yeah, John Gibbs. He turns off his his internet connection. Or he goes to a place that doesn't have Wi-Fi. Because he knows, otherwise he's just going to spend all the time online. And I go, oh, gee, it's 4:30. I got BritBox's put EastEnders up for today. I gotta go watch it. There's always something to take my mind off it. I'm a terrible procrastinator. No, I'm an excellent procrastinator. That's right.